Janet Roark coming to you live from Central Texas for my Q&A, my weekly Q&A. For those of you that don't know me, I go live every Sunday night, usually at 7 p.m. Central. But this week we had, I had my 7-day Happy Healthy Dog Challenge that was just wrapping up today. So it went a little over. I was answering all their questions, trying to get all their questions in on the last day. So I'm a little bit late today. So hopefully you guys aren't too mad at me. But if you have a question about animals and essential oils, go ahead and pop them in the chat and let me know what essential oil you're excited about this week. I'm really excited about my new Meta Power blend. I don't know if you guys, you can probably see all my stuff over here. I did a Meta Power class yesterday, and so all my stuff is still on my little shelf here because I'm actually running a metabolic makeover challenge for free, and it's really I'm not sure what all it's going to transform into, but basically I'm going to go on a 90-day journey taking these products and just trying to get my metabolic health reset. I've already lost some weight, but I really would like to just be mentally clear and have longevity with my life and quite honestly get my cholesterol under control if I'm being real honest, because it's not that great. My liver and my cholesterol are not super happy. So I decided that I was just going to start a challenge, a 90-day challenge journey that you're more than welcome to join me on. And I have a couple of friends who are joining me to help coach during this. So my personal health coach is a nurse, and her name's Cami Shaw, and she's amazing. And she will be leading the discussion on building habits and nutrition and things like that, because she's helped me a lot with that over the past year, a year and a half, 2 years. I don't know how long we've been coaching, but I see her every week. And so she's going to join us. And then my friend Brittany, who has actually overcome type 2 diabetes with the help with diet and exercise. And so she's a true inspiration and just like super amazing, faith-filled, just cheerleader. And she is going to be one of the coaches in there, as well as myself. And my friend Audra, who some of you have met before. She is really into fitness. So anyways, all this to say, I wasn't even going to talk about this today, but all this to say, I am running this metabolic makeover challenge. So if you want to join it, it's totally free. Go to www.metabolicmakeoverchallenge.com. You do have to have the www in there, otherwise it gets mad. But check that out, and you'll be able to register and then get into the group. We're technically starting on October 15th because we want to make sure people have a chance to get their products. But I personally will be starting tomorrow and going from there. So we'll see what happens. I am hopeful, but we're just going to be real and raw and talk about what's hard and what's working and figure this out together. And we have a bunch of people in that group already. So you're welcome to join us if you'd like. All right, let's answer some questions, shall we? Let's keep our questions compliant. So Jennifer is asking about itchy dogs. We'll say itchy dogs. And they're with, okay. All right. I'm just going to post it. So Jennifer, I'm just going to get in trouble. If I have to get in trouble, I get in trouble. So for allergies, what I would really recommend, allergies are complicated. Okay. As you probably already know, it's not just like put a drop of lavender and all of a sudden there's no more allergies. I wish it was that simple. Trust me. It's extremely frustrating for me and for veterinarians, as well as for the people who own these dogs that are so miserable and uncomfortable. So it really is this is where you really have to get holistic, the whole animal approach to addressing this. So allergies are an overactive immune response to a quote unquote normal protein or pollen or something like that. And so what you can do is mitigate the problem, but this is a lifelong process, and it is a management type of situation, not a cure. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And where I usually start is where the majority of the immune system is, and that's in the gut. So I usually give digestive enzymes, probiotics, and omega-3 supplements, which are extremely good for the skin, and making sure that the dog is on a species appropriate diet. I recommend Darwin's Pet, choosing a protein that you know your dog is okay with. Beef is usually a pretty safe one to start with because there are a lot of dogs that are actually allergic to poultry, especially chicken. So that, where is that? I do have a code for Darwin's if you guys want to try it. They have like a $15 trial that you can get 10 pounds of food. It's if you use coupon code EOVET when you register, they'll send you a bag of treats and you'll get that $15 trial of food, and they'll send you kind of a different proteins and things like that. So check that out, and that's a good place to start. As far as oils go, lemon, lavender, peppermint, and frankincense and copaiba are usually a good place to start. All right. Hi, Sylvia from Michigan. Casey, what can I use for canine ears? I really wish you were in the dog challenge. We actually covered ears 2 days ago in the dog challenge and went into detail about how to clean them. So the best thing you can do is clean out your dog's ears. There's YouTube videos on how to do this. I use witch hazel, alcohol-free witch hazel, with a little bit of Bragg's apple cider vinegar in there. And then you don't usually put oils down into the ear canal, but you can certainly spray them onto a cotton ball and swipe it around the ear. I use basil, geranium, and frankincense for that. Prentice just got her MetaPower kit. That's so awesome. It's free. It's free for everyone, Sarah. It's free for everyone. Yeah. Erica, I'm only seeing, my 6-month-old puppy broke his heel and had surgery, like his leg. Has a cast off now, but still limps. Made a spray with helichrysum, frankincense, and lavender. Do you have any other suggestions? I would add in myrrh and copaiba into that. I think but that's a really good place to start. Good job. Liza, what's the best advice you would give to a veterinarian who's new to essential oils and how to incorporate that into their practice? So essential oils are just like any other thing that you can offer as a service. And so I just, offer it as a service. I just included it in my service offerings. I add it in with my acupuncture and laser appointments. And it was a really easy transition for me. People can say no, or they can say yes. And the easiest thing to do is to diffuse in your exam rooms calming oils. That's the main thing that is super, super helpful, especially, and then during restraint for various procedures, having a towel with calming oils on it for that animal is super helpful as well. And then using them topically on yourself is the best way you can do it, because heaven knows, as veterinarians, we go through all of the emotions in a single hour sometimes. So I take the emotions roller bottles. So like cheer, these guys. So there's cheer, motivate, passion, forgive, peace, and console. And those 6 I carry with me all the time and then balance. I also carry with me all the time because there is just a lot of times I need to use every single one of those throughout the course of the day. These days, forgive is used a lot. It's my favorite F word. So that's another one you can use to incorporate into your practice. But just start offering it and using it around and getting people used to it. And then people start asking questions and you can certainly explain what you do. All right. Erica says you can go back to activity, but it looks a little swollen. He said if it's not better in the next 6 weeks to bring him back, it could be an infection. Yep, that is definitely a possibility. But just limping right after you get it cast off is pretty normal, so I won't worry too much yet. Yeah, Liza. Oh, another question from Liza. What would you recommend for a dog who has a cyst between the pads that won't go away? So I would use frankincense directly on it, frankincense and lavender. I'm not okay. I'm not 100% sure I understand your question, Dan. Uh, okay, it's yeah. So a pretty good wound, taken down in about 8 days with tea tree and frankincense. Can I use this on a dog if we have a wound? So we do not want to use tea tree on dogs. Do not use tea tree oil on dogs. You can use frankincense. The brand really matters as far as what oil you're using. But if you want to use for wounds, what I like to use is the skin rejuvenating spray. And you can find that recipe over at essentialoilvet.com/recipes. So that particular recipe has frankincense, helichrysum, myrrh, as well as lavender in it. And that is a really good wound healing oil that's super combination that's super, super good for dogs and safe. So avoid tea tree with dogs. And for you guys that want to know a little bit more about safety, I do have a free pet safety guide over at essentialoilvet.com/pet safety. You can also go to essentialoilvet.com/safety for the website version, which you can find the link to the free. This is a free 17-page guide that is super easy to understand and follow. Let's see, what other questions do we have here? Oh my goodness, you guys are super non-compliant. Oh, here we go. Okay, so 22 kilogram mixed Argentinian doggo has spondylosis and once a month or 2 months has pain. Is it okay to do 2 drops of copaiba in her food or only one? For a dog that size, it's totally safe to use 2 drops of copaiba. If you need a little extra, add in some frankincense, maybe a little turmeric as well. Yeah, so Beck is wondering about birds. So grab that pet safety guide, Beck, because there's a whole page just on birds in there as far as safety, and lists of what to avoid. The main thing to be careful with is tree oils with birds. They love citrus oils typically. And if you're talking about pet birds, they're a little more sensitive than, say, poultry like chicken and turkeys. I've used tons of oils with chickens and turkeys, and they're super tough when it comes to that. But they do have very sensitive respiratory tracts compared to mammals, and so we do want to be cognizant of that. All right. Uh, Tessa says, what kibble is best for dogs with yeast issues? Kibble is the worst thing you can give for yeast issues. So I would recommend doing a homemade cooked diet or a raw diet like Darwin's Pet. I know. Sorry, you didn't like my answer probably, but there's no kibble that's good for yeast. Um, it is super processed. It's really, really processed food. Highly, highly processed so much that the proteins are denatured and things like that. And so yeast just loves it. Let me see if there's any more. Okay, we'll end with yeah, back cool. The safety guide is different than the book. Um, cool. But grab that safety guide if you don't have it yet. Yeah, parrots. Okay, cool. Um, yeah, Rachel, it's just www.metabolicmakeoverchallenge.com for that free metabolic change. So you have to have the www in front of it. So if it just says metabolicmakeoverchallenge.com, just add a www in front of it and it should work. Okay. I don't know why it's mad about that, but I'm not smart enough from a tech perspective to figure that one out. All right. Yeah. Okay. So Sharon says, is there anything you to use to prevent heartworm in Florida? So I'm in Texas. Texas and Florida have the highest heartworm rates in the whole country. And so the best thing you can do is give your dog heartworm preventative. This is one thing that essential oils are not going to replace. Okay. Because what spreads heartworms is mosquitoes. And there is no, I mean, you can use repelling oils to prevent mosquitoes from biting your dogs, but it's not 100%. And because so many mosquitoes carry it, it's just too dangerous of a disease to risk it. So there are some recommendations specifically about which heartworm medications and how often to give it and things like that in the membership group. So if you're not in there, definitely check that out, essentialoilvet.com/members. We can get into a lot more detail in there than I can on this public page. So just so you guys know. And then Liza says, what's the number one calming oil to diffuse in your office? I really like it just depends on the day, honestly. And I'm mobile, so I actually don't diffuse. I don't have an office or exam rooms, but I do have veterinarian friends that do. And their favorite is usually Serenity or Lavender. But if that's too sleepy, something like Balance or a combination of Petitgrain with something. Petitgrain is very high in Little as well, which is very, very calming. So all right, you guys, that's all the time I have for tonight. I really hope to see you in the membership group if you want more information, as well as, you know, maybe in the metabolic makeover challenge if you're super interested in that. So you guys have an amazing evening and an awesome week, and I will see you next week. Bye.